So today, as I said before, we're going to work on unit number 9. And unit number 9, we're going to be speaking about history a little bit, right? History. So first, we're going to do like this exercise right here. And after we're done with it, we are going to work, or we're going to go straight to today's topic, which is conditional type 3, hypothetical conditionals. Hypothetical conditions for the past. So this is it. This is what we're going to do today. So let's get started. Now, here we got some, like as you can see in this exercise right here, we got some words in bold. So we're going to read, actually, I'm going to ask each of you, like 4 or 5 people, um, to read these quotations, these sites. And also the person is going to give me the definition of each of the words in bold. So the words are revolution, turning point, development, spread, advances, movements, inventions, foundation, discovery, and progress. Now, the idea is that you give me a definition, that you try to give me a definition in English, right? I don't want a translation, right? First, well, we can have a translation, but I would like you to give me the definition first, and then when you finish, the translation, right? So this is it, and I would like the first person to read the first quotation here. So who would like to start reading this quotation? Number one, this quotation. Who would likes to read? Hmm, I run out of water. All right, guys. Who wants to read this quotation? The first one.
I want to read, Mister.
All right, go ahead, Miss Maria.
I want to read, Mister.
Go, Maria.
A lot of revolutions have been important. The Industrial Revolution was a great turning point
In
in history.
history. All right, great. Now, Miss, what do you think the meaning of revolution is? What do you think the meaning of revolution is?
I think that is like a moment of great change in the history.
All right, good. And how about a turning point? Miss Maria, what do you think a turning point is?
This is like a change in the behavior of the people.
Okay, that could work. That's pretty much good, Miss. Very good. Well, I'm going to read number 2 because it's very short. So the development of internet, the spread of the net has been fast. So guys, what do you think in general, to all of you? What is the meaning of the word development? Development. What is it? What do you think it is? What do you think it stands for? Development. Can somebody, yeah, go
There
ahead.
is like the growth of something.
All right, like the grow. In this case, it would be like the growth, right? The growth of something. Yes, you're right. You're right. It's like moving forward in time, right? When something is moving forward, it's like becoming better. It's like when something has a kind of progress, right? Good, good. How about the spread? What is the meaning of a spread? What do you think it stands for? Spread. All right. Can somebody tell me what spreads means? Spread.
Mr. Like it's like the stand of
All right. The extension of something. Yeah, when something expands, right? When it can go to many places at a time. I can give you an example. For example, COVID-19. You remember that it was burned in China, and then it started to spreading away or all around the world, right? Now everybody has been affected by the virus, right? So the virus has spread. Good, good, miss. Now, how about number 3? I want a person to read this one. Quotation number 3 for me. Go ahead. Quotation number 3.
Mr. I want to read.
Go ahead, miss.
For me, the greatest advance, and there have been some really important movements, such as the civil rights movement. These have made the world a better place.
All right, great, miss. Miss, what do you think the word advance is? Like, what does it stand for? Advance.
Mm. Also, like development, like move
Okay.
forward.
It's, all right, they are synonyms, right? Like advancing and development, also moving forward. They are synonyms. They are always going, you know, to a place that is just above, like in front of us, right? To the front, always moving forward. Good, good.
It's like
And
progress.
like progress, yes. And how about movement?
Is there like a change in something? Mm,
Well, a movement is not exactly a change. I would say a movement is more like a group of people that are in charge of making some progress or some advances in something in a specific. Like in this case, they were, they had really important movements in civil rights, right? So they started to, to investigate on that and to try to make some changes or great changes in that, right? So movement is more like a group of people, like the people are the ones in charge of looking for this movement to progress, right? Or to move forward, as we were saying before. But good, miss. Now, I would like another person to read quotation number 4, this one. I'd choose. Read it, please. Another person. Who would like to read this one? Quotation 4. Remember what I told you the other day.
Teacher, me, I want to read.
All right, go ahead, mister.
I choose the invention of the wheel. It's the foundation of most transportation and machines.
All right, Mr. Choose, right? If you say choose, is the past. So I choose. All right, invention, mister. What do you think the word invention stands for?
Invention is like creation of something,
All right,
something new.
creating something new, making something new. Great. And how about foundation?
It's like invention, but it's like for institution for me, I think.
Okay, could be possible. It can also
So,
be an idea.
something like that.
You're right. But it can also
Okay.
be like the beginning of an idea, right? Like the beginning of everything, the foundation of everything, right? So for example, inventions, they first have foundations, right? Like the idea started here and then boom, you get the invention, right? So, good, mister. How about the last one? Quotation number 5. Please read it. One person to read quotation number
Me.
5. Go ahead, Jesus.
Maybe the discovery of fire. I think it was the most important thing in human beings' progress.
All right, mister, here. Remember the other day in the classroom when I taught you about those words that are written the same way but they are pronounced differently and they of course meant different things. So the same thing happens with progress. Here we say in human being progress, right? Progress. If you say progress is the verb. I mean, progress es progreso. Y progress es progresar, right? El verbo. So be careful there, right? Jesus, here is progress. All right, good. Mr. Jesus, what do you think is Discovery? What is that? Don't tell me that is the channel that you can find on the TV.
I don't know. I think that is the action when I find something. I don't know.
Right. No, good. It's finding something, right? Something you didn't know before. Good. And how about progress?
It's like when we advance to someone new.
Excellent, right? So as you can see, thank you, mister. As you can see right here, we have some words, and all of these words are related to history, right? When we speak, we can use these words related to history. Now, here in this exercise, we got some definitions. You already said the definitions, but now we got some definitions here, and you just need to put the words involved in the right place, right? In the blanks. So let's do it all together. Number 1 says a moment of great change. Now it says here that a moment of great change is a revolution. But what about a turning? All right, I already said it. What else can we? I mean, what else can it be a great, a change of great, a moment of great change? I'm sorry, I got confused.
Turning point.
All right, turning point is also like that very moment in which something new appears, right? When there is a big change or a great change, especially for something good, especially for something good. All right, how about the second one? When someone makes or finds something new, we can say development. What else?
Discovery.
Yes, and what else?
Foundation.
Foundation, when someone makes or finds something new.
No.
No. Foundation. How about this one? When someone makes something new. When someone creates something new. Invention, right? Now, number 3, something getting better. We got advance.
Progress.
Progress. Good. 4, when a group of people work to achieve an aim. For example, human rights.
Movement.
Great.
Movements.
5, the basic idea behind something. Like the beginning of everything. The beginning of everything, the beginning of ideas that become later on inventions or great inventions.
Foundation.
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 Good, foundations. And number 6, when something increases and affects more people. When something increases and affect more people.
Spread.
Spread. Good, like COVID-19, right? Good. Now take a look. These are the answers, guys. There you go. You did very good, right? It was excellent. All right. So let's then get down to today's topic itself. Before going to conditional type 3, let's review conditional type. I mean, the other types of conditionals. All right. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to answer those questions to me. So let's get started, and please let me know if you can see the PowerPoint presentation, guys. Where is it? I think it's this one. Can you see the PowerPoint that says conditional up here?
Yes.
All right. So, guys, how many types of conditionals do we have? How many types of conditionals do we have? Remember that we have already spoken about this, right? So how many types of conditionals do we have, guys?
4, Mr.
4 types of
0,
conditional.
Pierce,
All right.
2 and 3.
All right, got it, right? So yes, we have many types, actually 5 types, but we have seen 4 types, as Maria said. So we have conditional type 0, 1, 2, and 3, right? But we also have mixed conditional. We didn't speak about this. We are not going to speak about this. So we're going to emphasize only on these types, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So remember that conditionals, guys, can be divided in 2 parts, right? Like, which is this part? What is the part in, I mean, how do we call the part in which we use conditional type 0 and 1? Do you remember?
Real conditionals.
All right, those are real conditionals. So these are the ones we use to speak about reality. Good. And how about the ones that we use with conditional type 2 and 3? How do we call these two? Like this part.
Hypothetical situation.
Hypothetical situation. Good. That I called in this slide presentation, imagination. So we can divide them into 2 groups, right? The reality group, that is composed by conditional type 0 and 1, and the imagination group that is conformed by conditional type 2 and 3, right? Good. When we speak about reality, then we have conditional type 0. And guys, what do we use conditional type 0 for? Can you tell me?
General situations, facts.
Great, right? We use them to speak about situations that are truth, right? General truth or facts. Good. I also told you that we can call it, like, we use it for unchangeable reality, like something that you cannot change. I mean, if it's true, it's true. If it's false, it's false, but it's always going to be a fact. It's not going to be changeable, right? Now, as example, I remember the example I gave you, this one. If I hit ice, it melts. And something else that we gotta take into account is that conditions are normally divided in 2 parts. We are going to have the if clause, right? And we can have also the result clause. That is the one we have right here, normally after a comma, right? Now remember that we can also, like, exchange the positions between, or interchange the positions between the if clause and the result clause, right? You can put them all the way around. And if it can go in the middle, but in this case, we don't use any comma, right? So remember that the comma also is very important whenever you have the if clause. And now, what is the structure then, according to what we see right here? What is the structure that we use in conditional type 0?
Mr. Condition if or when plus present simple, comma plus present simple.
All right. So we have if, present simple, and present simple. Very good, miss. Now, what do we use conditional type 1 for? Can you tell me? Let's see if you remember. Conditional type 1 for. What do we use it for?
Mr. Changeable reality.
All right, we use it to speak about changeable realities. I mean, to speak about possibilities, right? So, what I mean by changeable realities is something, is a reality that you can change. I mean, there is a possibility to do it one way or in another way, right? So we have here some examples, like here, if I don't study for the test, I will fail. Now, this is one possibility. This is what is going to happen if I don't study. But what happened, I mean, what happens if I study? Then if I study, I won't fail, right? So here we have two different types of realities that I can change according to what I want, according to the possibilities. I mean, according to what I want to take, right? I want to do, and the possibilities that there are. So good. So again, we have the if clause and the result clause, right? And again, the comma that is very important. So what is the structure, guys, that we use for conditional type 1? Can you tell me what the structure of conditional type 1 is, please? So guys, what is the structure of conditional type 1?
Mr.
Yes, miss.
If or when plus present simple, comma plus will or could or might.
Right, very good. Will, could, might, or may. All the words that show possibility or probability, in this case possibility, right? You can use them for conditional type 1. And these are the two conditionals that we use for reality, right? To speak about reality. Now, let's move to let's move to imagination, right? Let's go to the imagination part. So conditional type 2. What do we use conditional type 2, guys, for? What do we use conditional type 2 for?
Mr.
Hypothetical situation.
Hypothetical situations, but what kind specifically? Because, I mean, type 2 and type 3 are used to speak about hypothetical situations, but they have, I mean, they are used for different types of hypothetical situations. So which type of hypothetical situation do we use conditional type 2 for? So what type of hypothetical situations do we use type 2 for, guys? Hypothetical situations in what tense?
In present.
All right. Hypothetical situations in present to future, right? So This is the difference. Here in the number 2, we use a hypothetical situation that refers to the present and that has a very small chance of having a resolution in the future. Even though this is imaginary, what happens here is imaginary, there is still a very small possibility that it happens in the future, right? So this is the example that I give you, and is if I found 50,000 pieces billed on the street, I would buy pizza for my dear students. So if I found a $50,000 pieces bill on the street, this is the present because I say it now, right? I say it now in this moment, even though it is written in the past form. But is there any chance, guys, or is it impossible? When I say this, is it impossible to find this money on the street? Like, is there any chance that I can find this money, this amount of money on the streets? Are there chances? There are any chances? So what do you think?
No.
Is it impossible to find this money on the streets? Guys?
No, it's possible.
It's possible, right? But how difficult it is? It's very difficult, right? Actually, it's very, I mean, like unprobable, right? It's something that could happen or might happen, but the possibility, or yes, the degree, or yeah, like the degree of possibility is so low, right? Hay una pequeña posibilidad de que eso sí suceda, right? Por eso digo que se me presenta un futuro, ya que en español usamos como tal un futuro incierto, si yo encontrara, right? Un futuro incierto. But in English, remember that this uncertain future doesn't exist. So, what English does is that it finds a solution to the lack of uncertain futures in this language, right? So, and the same thing that happens to the rest, we have, of course, an if clause and a result clause. As for the result clause, I mean, the if clause, you know, is going to be the one that begins with if, and the result clause is the one in which we are going to use would, right? So, what is the structure? This is the structure of conditional type 2. We use if plus past simple. Don't get confused. Yes, I know that we use this for the present to an uncertain future, but the structure or the grammar structure in English is past simple because there is no, I mean, it doesn't exist any kind of uncertain future in English. English only has other types of futures, but not uncertain future. And well, this is it. And for the result clause, we use would or could. The one you would like to use is okay, all right? And well, what happens with conditional type 3? Can you tell me what we use conditional type 3 for, guys? What do we use conditional type 3 for?
You say that it's for regrets.
Regrets, great. Now, different from conditional type 2. Conditional type 3 is used to speak about hypothetical situations, but where exactly? In the past, right? Conditional type 2 is in the present to future, but in conditional type 3 is in the past. I mean, you are going to speak about a situation that already happened, right? And as it already happened, you want that situation to be different. And as you cannot make it different, this becomes a regret. And what is a regret in Spanish? We call this un arrepentimiento o un lamento. ¿Y qué es un arrepentimiento, un lamento? Simplemente algo que hacemos cuando queremos que algo hubiera sucedido de una manera diferente a la que realmente sucedió, right? Entonces, hubiera hecho esto. ¿Por qué no hice esto en este momento? Those are regrets. Y eso es lo que pasa con condicional tipo 3. So we have this example right here. If I had studied harder, I would have passed the semester. Now, let me ask you, did the person or did I pass the semester, guys, here? Did I pass the semester?
Sir.
Yeah?
No.
No, right? Hang on, miss. No, I didn't pass the semester. So, como no pasé el semestre, yo con esta oración lo que intento es ¿qué hubiera pasado si yo hubiera pasado el semestre? Right? Entonces estoy imaginando, estoy hablando, estoy cambiando, estoy haciendo un arrepentimiento de una situación que ya sucedió y que porque ya sucedió no puedo cambiar. La única manera de cambiarla es imaginarlo. Nada más, right? So if I had studied harder, I would have passed the semester, right? And here we have the if clause and the result clause as well, right? Also, it is divided by commas and, por favor, memoricen esto justo de este momento. Su estructura es if plus past perfect had, right? Plus the past participle of the verb, no, that's the past perfect, plus would or could have plus the past participle of the verb, right? So this is the structure of conditional type 3. Lo que es también muy, de hecho, que creo que igual que como lo hacemos en español, right? En español se usa de la misma forma que se usa en inglés, con el pasado perfecto, con could have, right? Con el habría o podría haber hecho esto, right? Same thing happens in Spanish. So, this is the review of all the types of conditionals that you guys have, right? Actually, that there are in English, 0, 1 for reality, 2 and 3 for imagination or hypothetical situations in general, right? So today we are going to emphasize on the hypothetical situations in the past or regrets, or in other words, conditional type 3 with this structure right here. That's why I'm saying, guys, please memorize it, take a look at it, and let's get down to the next slide presentation to practice and to, yeah, basically to practice. So here in this PowerPoint presentation is where we are going to emphasize on conditional type 3 and where we are going to practice a lot, all right? So take a look. Conditional type 3, going back in time to the past. That's basically what we do when we speak about conditional type 3, right? We go back to the past, we think of a situation that happened in the past, and then we regret about it. We say, oh, you know, if I had done this differently, everything would have been better now, right? Or I should have done this, right? But I didn't do it. So that's what conditional type 3 is normally used for. And well, we have a question down below. It says, like, if you think about your life, what would you have done differently? Now, this is a good question, right? What would you have done differently? Well, maybe if you go back in, if you go back in time, right, and you think of something that you didn't like the way you did it, right, and you want that to be changed, the only thing you gotta do is imagine it to be different, right? So this is what we're going to practice today, guys. So as example of conditions type 1 or 2, because we continue with the review, right? We got these two sentences here that I'm going to read to you, and you are going to translate to me, please. So conditional type 1 says, if it is sunny All right. If it is sunny, I will go to the beach. If it is sunny, I will go to the beach. And the second one, if it were sunny, I would go to the beach. Now, guys, who can translate this to me into Spanish? The first one. Translate it to me, please. If it is sunny, I will go to the beach. What does it say to you in Spanish?
Está soleado, iré a la playa.
Iré, right? So there is a great possibility, actually a lot of possibility that you can go to the beach, right? Good. But how about here? Number 2. If it were sunny, I would go to the beach. What does it say in
Si eso
Spanish?
fuera soleado, yo iría a la playa.
Actually, si estuviera soleado, right? Estamos hablando del día. So, yes, yo iría a la playa. Now, let me ask you, is it sunny today here? When I say, if it were sunny, I would go to the beach. Is it sunny? No, right? But
No.
there is a very small chance for the day to get better, to get sunny. And if it's sunny, I could go to the beach, right? So that's what we use in conditional type 3. But how do we do this sentence? How do we put it in conditional type 3? Can you try it? Try to put it in conditional type 3, guys.
If it had been sunny, I would have gone to the beach.
Excellent, miss, right? Now, if you say, if it had been sunny, I would have gone to the beach, it shows you that the action finished, right? But come on, it wasn't sunny, so I didn't go to the beach, right? So that's what you mean. Very good, miss. Excellent. So let's continue then. And this is how we use it. Take a look. If it had been sunny, I would have gone to the beach. If it had been sunny yesterday. Okay. When it comes to the conditional, we can use for the first one, when we use the past participle, the past perfect, the auxiliary verb had, we can contract it if you want, right? This is not obligatory, just if you want. It would be better if you use it, of course, but it'd be better. Okay, hang on, let me do it here. This, right? Now, I know that you would say, teacher, pero se podría confundir con la contracción de would, porque would también se puede contraer de esta forma. Yes, you're right. Pero ¿cómo no se confunde uno? ¿Cómo uno podría verlo de manera diferente? Pues, después de esta contracción, siempre va a venir un verbo en su forma de participio pasado. Pero después de la contracción parecida, pero que se refiere a would, el verbo no va a ir en participio pasado, sino en su forma infinitivo, como ya ustedes lo conocen. I would like, infinitivo, ¿cierto? You say, I'd like, right? I'd like. I like to do this, infinitive. Pero yo los he visto, yo los había visto ustedes. I'd seen you guys. I'd seen you guys. I'm using the past participle form for this form right here. And this is what makes them different. Well, in the case of would, when it's together, when it's alongside have, I'm speaking about the positive form only, not the negative form. Not would have, not wouldn't have, but would have, right? And we have this combination. We can contract them, right? We can contract them. Let me see if I can. Yes, we can contract them, but only in the speaking form, right? Only in speech. This is something you are not supposed to write. Or well, this is something that you are not supposed to write in a formal situation. But if you are just writing this on WhatsApp or Messenger or Twitter or Instagram or whatever, right? Informally to someone, then you can go ahead and use the contraction. So you can say the contracted form like this, right? And this pronounced would have. would have, right? So I can say I would have been, I would have come, I would have found, I would have done, and I would have seen, right? If you don't want to make the contraction is fine. I would have been, I would have found, I would have seen. You can use it the way you want. In the case of wouldn't, the negative form, there is no possible contraction because wouldn't is already being contracted with the negative form. Wouldn't, would not, right? So you don't have to contract or you cannot contract it with have, right? One more thing to take into account is when you use would have in the third person, right? You say, for example, she would, she would. Please never, ever do this, right? Take a look. This is incorrect. Then you may say, profe, pero ajá, she es tercera persona y has se conjuga en tercera persona a has, right? Entonces, ¿por qué no se puede? Porque simplemente antes de este verbo auxiliar tenemos otro verbo auxiliar, el cual es would. Así que esto está haciendo referencia, ese would ya está haciendo su referencia con la tercera persona, por lo tanto el verbo que le sigue debería ir en su forma normal, right? So it doesn't matter whether you have first person, second person, or third person, you are always going to have right here. So she would have gone, right? She would have gone. Here, you don't have to say she would has, she would has gone. No, impossible, right? Please don't forget that. Is that clear, guys? Is that clear, guys?
Yes, Mr.
All right. And well, now that we have already mentioned this, please remember that this is a structure. If, past perfect, would have, and past participle. All right. So let's move right over here. Take a look at the first practice or exercise that we have now. It says fill in the gaps to make the third conditional. So if I, alive, 2,000 years ago, I, a Roman. So try to complete the sentence by using conditional type 3. And using this, take a look, structure down here. The conditional type 3 structure. So fill it out, guys. Fill it out. I need one person to do it, please. Guys, I need one person to complete this 10. If I, alive, 2,000 years ago, I, a Roman.
If I had been alive 1,000 years ago, I would have been a Roman.
Excellent, miss. All right. If I had been alive 2,000 years ago, I would have been a Roman, right? Si yo hubiera estado vivo hace 2,000 años, habría sido un romano. There you go. That's how you do it. Excellent, Miss Bonfante. Now, how about this one? Please try it and also, again, use the same structures down below here. If, diff, run faster, police not catch them, right? Transform it, please, into conditional type 3. So the thief run fast. If the thief run faster, the police not catch him. How can you transform it into conditional type 3?
If the thief had run faster, the police wouldn't have catched him.
What is the past participle of catch?
Oh, God.
All right, caught, caught, right? But it was very good miss. If the thief had run faster, the police wouldn't have caught him. Good, good, right? This is another exercise. Take a look. Look out. We are going to hit the iceberg. Now this is the Titanic. So if Titanic miss iceberg, it not sink. Now, what is sink? ¿Recuerdan qué le pasó al Titanic, chicos? ¿Qué le pasó al Titanic?
Se hundió.
Yes, so that's the meaning of the word sink. Hundirse, sink. All right, so please do this. I mean, put it in conditional type 3, please. I'm going to give you a hint. Recuerden que el condicional tipo 3 lo que intenta decir es algo diferente a lo que realmente sucedió. Si aquí digo, oh, el Titanic.
Teacher, if the Titanic had
Okay.
missed the iceberg, it wouldn't have sunk. I don't know how to.
Sunk. Excellent, miss. Excellent. If the Titanic had missed the iceberg, it wouldn't have sunk, right? Todavía existiría, existiría el Titanic. Qué sé yo, right? So yes, very good. So como les estaba diciendo, si yo digo aquí el Titanic se golpeó con un iceberg y se hundió, eso es lo que pasó, ¿cierto? Esa fue la acción. Y ahora, ¿cómo yo la cambio? Pues tratando de imaginar si eso no hubiera sucedido. So, si el Titanic no hubiera golpeado un iceberg, no se hubiera hundido, right? So that's what you get to do. Traten de cambiar la situación que ya ha sucedido, all right? So this was the warm-up. Aquí nada más el calentamiento, right? This was the warm-up. So let's go to the real practice. Take a look. Sentence transformation. Make sentence for pictures in conditional type 3. You're going to see some sentences. Take a look. These are the sentences, normal sentences, and you have to put them in conditional type 3. All right, here we have the first one again. Look out, we are going to hit the iceberg. I am going to do this one, all right? So let's try to make sense of this sentence right here. The Titanic hit an iceberg and sank. El Titanic se estrelló o golpeó un iceberg y se hundió. Esto es lo que realmente sucedió. Ahora, ¿cómo yo lo transformo a condicional tipo 3? Pues pensando en qué hubiera pasado si no hubiera hecho eso, right? So, if the Titanic no hubiera, right, hadn't hit an iceberg, it wouldn't have sank, right? So this is the answer. If the Titanic hadn't hit an iceberg, it wouldn't have sunk, right? So this is it, and that's what you gotta do. So let's move on to the next exercise, and this is the one you are going to do as I did it, right? There you go. Take a look at this man. He went to the beach and he got sunburned. So it says, He stayed in the sun too long yesterday and got sunburned. So, conditional type 3, please.
If he hadn't stayed in the sun too long, he wouldn't gotten sunburned.
Something's missing, miss. He wouldn't what?
Have gotten.
All right, he wouldn't have gotten sunburned, right? Recuerden siempre usar el have. Si no lo usan, pues te estarían diciendo algo diferente, all right? Good. En el caso de get, bueno, got, para el participio pasado, recuerden que hay dos versiones. Podemos usar got, así como lo ven, o gotten también, right? So the one you prefer, it's okay. No problem. So good, Miss Nayeli. Now, here we have another pic. Take a look at the man. He's standing at a station, or the train station, and this is what happened. He arrived late and missed the train. Type 3, please.
Mr. I want.
Go ahead, miss.
Okay, if he hadn't arrived late, he wouldn't miss the train. He wouldn't have missed the train.
All right, he wouldn't have missed the train.
Okay.
Very good, miss. Good. This, if he hadn't arrived late, he wouldn't have missed the train, right? Good. Now take a look at this picture here when we have some people, they have some umbrellas on, right? Because it's raining. But this girl forgot her umbrella. So it says here, she forgot her umbrella and got wet, right? So, conditional type 3.
If she hadn't forgotten her umbrella, she wouldn't have got wet.
Excellent, miss. Very good. Now from now on, please try to think faster, right? Sé que es algo nuevo, sé que es algo, bueno, no, sí es algo nuevo que estamos practicando ahora bastante, pero traten de hacerlo un poco más rápido. Me refiero a que traten de forzar un poco, en lo posible, en lo que ustedes puedan, por supuesto, su cerebro a hacerlo en inglés, right? Así como ya saben, con otras cosas, intenten hacer esto también. So, very good, miss. If she hadn't forgotten her umbrella, she wouldn't have got wet. Good, good. Now, take a look at this man here. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot something here. I'm going to write it down. Like, I'm going to write it here. All right. So, take a look at the man. The man seems to be very angry. He was at his laptop and he punched it through. There you go. He was angry, so he punched his laptop through. All right. So, conditional type 3. Conditional type 3, guys, for this one.
If he hadn't been angry, he wouldn't have punched his laptop.
Great, all right? He wouldn't have punched his laptop through. Great. If he hadn't been angry, he wouldn't have punched his laptop through. Very good, miss. Now, take a look at this one. Let me eliminate my annotations. Okay. She drank so much coffee yesterday. She couldn't sleep last night. Here you go here. Take a look at here. It's night. It's late at night. Take a look. It's almost 4 in the morning, and she's still wide awake, right? She's still up because she drank so much coffee the previous night. So, conditional type 3.
Mister, if she hadn't drunk so much coffee yesterday, she would have slept last night.
All right. What is the past participle of the word of the verb sleep? It's irregular, by the way. So what's the
Slept, teacher.
which one?
Slept.
Slept. Good. So she would have slept last night, or she could have slept last night. Remember that we can use could also, because could and would in this are like kind of similar, right? But they are not the same. They are not the same. You can also use another version, like the version I used with would. Like if she hadn't drunk so much coffee yesterday, she would have been able to sleep last night. Now, do you remember what the meaning of being able to is? What is the meaning of that, guys?
Ser capaz.
All right, so ella habría sido capaz de dormir anoche, ¿cierto? So you can use this version, or the contracted one, could have. She could have slept last night, right? So the one you like is fine. Now let's move on to the next one. Take a look and try to make sense of this sentence right here. So take a look at the girl. For the woman, also, she seems to be working on her laptop, and something went wrong, right? Something went wrong, and then we got here. Hang on. She got a virus on her laptop because she didn't install the antivirus. So how can you put this into conditional type 3, guys? Conditional type 3 for this one, guys. I know this one is like a little difficult, but let's see how you do it. Try to read it well and try to make sense of it so you can make a good sentence out of it. All right, go ahead.
Mister, if she had installed an antivirus, she wouldn't have got a virus on her laptop.
Excellent, Miss Maria. But remember the pronunciation. If she had installed, la E de no suena, recuerden, an antivirus, virus, all right, on her laptop, she wouldn't have got a virus, all right? But it was great, Miss. The grammar, perfect. There you go. Let's continue. Take a look at Mr. Jesus here. Jesus went to party yesterday and he had a hangover. So he drank so much last night and he had a hangover when he woke up. All right, conditional type 3. Conditional type 3, guys.
Me,
Go ahead, mister.
pero I don't know porque está difícil.
Don't worry, it's okay.
Like, if me, in this case, eh, had hadn't drunk so much last night, I wouldn't had a hangover
All right,
when I
stop there. In this part, he wouldn't what?
have
Wouldn't
had
have, great. Wouldn't have had. Continue.
a hangover when I wake up
When I woke up in the past, right?
Uh-huh.
Very good,
Woke up.
mister. That was perfect, Mr. Jesus. No problem. Take a look at this. If he hadn't drunk so much last night, he wouldn't have had a hangover when he woke up. Great. Excellent. All right. Let's have another exercise here. Take a look at Mr. Bartolomeo J. Simpson. All right. Bartol Simpson. If I do the homework, I won't get detention. So Bart didn't do his homework, so he had to stay late in school yesterday. So what do you have to do to put it in conditional type through? I'm sorry, 3, guys. Conditional type 3.
Me.
All right, go ahead, mister.
If Bart had done his homework, he would have had to stay late in school yesterday.
Perfect. Excellent, mister. If Bart had done the homework, he wouldn't have had to stay in school yesterday. Good, good. Now, another exercise. Take a look at the 3 people right here. They are pretty much excited because they passed their exams. So they worked so hard, they passed their exams. Conditional type 3. Do it.
If they hadn't worked so hard, they wouldn't have passed their exam.
Great, Miss. Miss María, recuerda por favor la pronunciación de los verbos regulares en pasado que terminen en, obviamente, lógicamente, en ed. No se pronuncia la ed. It's not worked, it's not passed. It's worked, past. Pero la gramática estuvo excelente. If they hadn't worked so hard, they wouldn't have passed their exams. Good, excellent. All right, another one. Take a look at the man. He's jumping because he's extremely happy. Hey, he won the lotto. So he bought a lottery ticket and won. Condition type 3.
If he hadn't bought a lottery ticket, he wouldn't have won the lottery.
Excellent, mister. That was great. If he hadn't bought the lottery ticket, he wouldn't have won. Great. Another one. He was texting on the phone and had an accident. Type 3. All right, so he was testing on the phone and had an accident. Try to use your brain, people, faster.
If he hadn't been texting on the phone, he wouldn't have had an
Very good, Miss Bonfante. He wouldn't have had an accident. Excellent. If he hadn't been testing on the phone, he wouldn't have had an accident. Perfect. Great. How about this one? Take a look at the girl right here. She seems to be very tired and she fell asleep. So she was working so hard that she fell asleep. How would it be? How would it be, guys?
accident.
All
If
right.
she hadn't been working so hard,
Mhm.
She wouldn't have felt asleep.
Mm, ese no es el participio pasado de fall. ¿Cuál es el participio pasado de fall?
Felt.
No, ese es el de sentir, el de
Fallen?
caer. Fallen.
Fallen?
Fallen. So, if she hadn't been working so hard, she wouldn't have fallen asleep. No confunden esos dos verbos, chicos. All right, take a look at this one. He was lifting the box when he hurt his back. He was lifting the box when he hurt his back. So guys, how about this one? How would it be?
If he hadn't been lifting the box, he wouldn't have hurt his back.
Excellent, miss. If he hadn't been lifting the box, he wouldn't have hurt his back. Great. Very good. Now let's move on here. Take a look at the car. Oh, a hard accident, right? So he wasn't looking where he was going and he hit the tree. How would it be? Type 3. Third conditional.
If he had been looking where he was going, he wouldn't have hit the tree.
Okay, I don't know if I didn't hear properly, but I think you missed something, especially here. If he hadn't what?
If he had been looking where he was going, he
All
wouldn't
right,
have hit the tree.
excellent, miss. If he had been looking where he was going, he wouldn't have hit the tree. Excellent. So guys, is this clear? Like how to use conditional type 3? Guys, is it clear how to use conditional type 3?
Yes, mister. That is a little bit difficult.
Because you are not used to it, right? Porque no estamos acostumbrados a usar este tipo de oraciones en inglés. De hecho, si no estoy mal, la primera vez que lo estamos usando, no, ya las habíamos hecho antes, pero no habíamos practicado. Esta vez estamos practicando con esto, right? Entonces, lo que hay que hacer es continuar practicando para poder, ya saben, acostumbrarse un poco más. Lo único bueno es que este tema es bastante parecido al español. De hecho, se usa de la misma manera. En español también se usa el pasado perfecto y en español también se usa la combinación habría o hubiese. So, it's the same thing, right? El would have, you can also use it. That's a good thing that you can like exchange, right? Maybe you don't know how to use something, you can think a little bit in Spanish and then you can put it back into English and it works, right? It works. Well, guys, I think this is it. we're going to have some of the exercises in the book now. Exercise 5. So let's do the exercises in exercise 5. So what do we have? Hang on. What do you have to do? Let's read. Hang on here. So complete the sentences with the correct form of the verbs in parentheses, right? So here we got the verbs in parentheses. You just need to use the conditional type 3. Now, be careful here because we are going to remember that we can change the position between the if clause and the result clause, right? So here you're going to see that there are going to be some sentences that begin with the result clause and some other sentences that begin with the if clause. So let's begin with the first one. Who wants to answer number one? Machu Picchu.
Me,
Go ahead, Miss.
Mr. I.
Go ahead, Miss Maria.
Okay. Machu Picchu would have remained unknown if Hiram Bingham hadn't explored the Andes in Peru.
Very good, right? Having explored the Andes in Peru. Very good, Miss. Excellent. How about number two? If the I love you virus. Number two.
If the I love you virus had been found earlier, 45 million computers wouldn't have crashes in 2000.
Wouldn't have crashed in 2000. All right. Number three. The development of modern medicine. The development of modern medicine.
Would have been different if Alexander Fleming hadn't discovered penicillin.
Penicillin. Very good, Miss. Hadn't discovered penicillin. All right. Number four. If John Lennon. All right, complete that one. If John Lennon. If Sean Lennon. Go ahead, guys. Come on, don't think too much. Just try to do it.
If John Lennon hadn't met Paul McCartney, they wouldn't have formed the Beatles.
All right. What is the past participle of the word meet?
Met.
Met. So if John Lennon hadn't met, all right, Miss, remember, met Paul McCartney, they wouldn't have formed the Beatles. All right, good. Number five.
The invention of the cell phone wouldn't have been possible if Alexander Graham Bell hadn't invented the telephone.
The telephone. Hadn't invented the telephone. Very good, mister. And number six. If Nextdoor Film Company. If Nextdoor Film Company
hadn't opened a film studio there in 1911, Hollywood would have remained a quiet town.
A quiet town. 1911. All right. Very good, guys. Very good. So I think it was pretty much clear. Take a look at the answers. These are the answers. All right. These are the answers. All of them were excellent, were correct. So very good, guys. Very good. All right. I think, again, this is the end of it. So that's it, guys.